Now let's go ahead and get started on our backs today. I do apologize, my tummy's being a little bit funny, so I'll try to keep up with you guys. If I do come out of a pose, just know that you're probably not meant to. So starting on our backs, soles of the feet to touch, as close to your groin as you can get the heels. Palms by your side, palms facing up, and your gaze is closing. Beginning here to just connect to the mat. And just bring the awareness to your back, all the spaces and the muscles that are touching onto the mat. And as you take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up, expanding. Exhale out the mouth and feel yourself sinking deeper, connecting. Just take another cleansing breath in. Fill up all the way, belly rise, chest expands. Take an extra sip of air and hold it at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling out the mouth, letting it all go. And just begin to disconnect from stuff you had going on earlier today, the things you may have to do later on. Allow this time now just to dedicate it to your body and what it offers you. Following each inhale and every exhale as it flows, maybe focusing on the tip of the nose or maybe placing your hand on top of your belly and following every rise and fall. Working on extending our exhales. Take a deep inhale for 2, 1. Holding it at the top. Exhaling through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking another deep inhale for 2, 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just allow your breath to return back to normal. And allowing the practice of this breath to calm the mind, soothe the nervous system. Then maybe take a moment now to invite your Ujjayi breath, the warrior breath, if you practice. Constricting the back of your throat, like there is a tiny straw where the air flows in and out of. Making the sounds of the waves or the ocean. And then your next inhale, begin to slowly blink the eyes open. We're going to take it nice and slow today on this flow. There's going to be a lot of holds, so just remember to stay connected to your breath. And then begin to bring the soles of your feet to the mat, feet at hip distance apart. If you have a block or block substitute, we're going to be placing it below on our sacrum, so just that flat part of your low back. And then with your feet, push on, lifting the hips, placing the block. And just below the sacrum. And as you inhale, bring the right knee towards your chest, hugging the shins. And then exhaling, extending that left leg out in front. Grounding down the left heel, both feet are flexed. Feeling the stretch on the left hip flexor. And on the right hip, beginning to work on opening them up. Every inhale, keep lengthening that left leg, straightening it out and grounding down that heel. And with every exhale, keep bringing that right knee closer to your right armpit. If you don't have a block, or if you could do this without one, that's still fine as well. One more breath here. Staying for the exhale, pushing that knee closer. And then releasing both feet onto the mat. On the next inhale, bring the left knee towards your chest, clasping your hands around your shin. And then extending that right leg out in front, grounding down the heel. And then keep pressing with the exhales, that left knee, opening up the hip. Actively pressing the top of the right thigh towards the back of the leg. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then meeting back, both feet on the mat. Pick up your seat, remove the block for now. And then bringing the feet up, soles of the feet towards the ceiling, coming into happy baby, grabbing the outside of the feet. Begin to press onto the feet with your hands, and with your feet, you're pressing opposite directions. Tailbone should be grounding down. We're as close to the mat as you can get it. Long, straight spine. Think of pressing your shoulder blades down, trying to connect them to the mat. And then side to side, rocking if that feels good for you today. Taking one more breath here, coming still on our happy baby. And then as you exhale, bring the soles of the feet to touch for reclined cobblers. Posting the heels as close to your groin as you can. Holding onto the outside of the feet, maybe grabbing onto your toes, and then pushing the knees away from you. Staying connected to your breath. Inhale, think long, neutral spine. And as you exhale, can you push the knees a little bit further away? And then when you're ready, hugging the shins, begin to rock back and forth until we meet sitting on our mats. And then once again, coming onto our blocks, begin by going onto hero's pose. So your knees kneeling down to touch, space between your feet so that you can get your tush down. And then if you can sit here comfortably, that's great. If not, use your block, elevate the hips. And then keeping the knees together, sitting nice and tall. Place your hands on top of your thighs. And then as you inhale, send the tailbone out, so stick your tush out, belly in, and your gaze lifts up and back. And as you exhale, bring chin to chest, pushing onto the thighs with your hands, rounding the back, tucking your tush in. Cat-cow movements. Inhale coming through, gaze lifts, arch your back. Exhale, pushing on to the thighs, tucking in, and keep going for a few rounds on your own breath. Coming still, sitting nice and tall. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, begin to walk the right hand behind your seat, and your left hand on the outer right thigh. Looking over that right shoulder for a gentle twist, opening up towards the right side. Every inhale, get nice and tall, and every exhale, maybe walking those fingertips a little bit more towards the left. And when you're ready, coming back to center, right hand outer left hip, outer left thigh, sorry, and then walking the left hand behind you, looking over the left shoulder, opening up. And then as you exhale, coming back to center, get rid of your block. And meeting in tabletop, stack the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, get distance apart, spread the fingers wide, really set them up. So drawing your thumbs away from each other, pretend you're ripping the mat apart without actually moving them. Grounding all the knuckles and the fingertips down, hugging the outer upper arms in, eye of the elbows facing forward. Hug your belly in, so really firing the pelvic floor, pretend you have to pee and squeeze. And then as you inhale, pick up your knees slightly, 1 inch, a few centimeters, and we're going to hover here for a little bit. Keep squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, and that belly is lifting strong, pushing onto the hands, so your shoulder blades are away from each other and pushing against your back. Keep breathing in, working on slow inhales, slowing exhales. And then on your next exhale, step the right foot back, coming onto the ball of that right foot, so you're in half plank on the right side, while still hovering on the left. Firing that right quad, pressing the top of the right thigh towards the back of the leg. Coming back to hovering, bringing that right knee in, and then stepping that left leg out. Half plank on the left side. Coming back to hover, stepping the right foot out one more time. Holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hovering, left side. 10 more seconds. Lifting that belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, coming back to hover. Take a deep inhale, fill up, lift the belly. And as you exhale, drop the knees. Good job. From tabletop, extend the right leg out. Step it back, and then bringing that right knee behind the right wrist. Bringing the right foot behind the left wrist. Begin to scoot the left leg back. Coming into pigeon from tabletop. Pointing the back toes. Inhale, getting long. Send the right hip back, the left hip forward. And then as you exhale, walking the hands out in front, you need to melt your torso to mat. Making a pillow with your forearms. Resting your forehead down. Remember to check if the foot pointing or flexed. Checking in on our breath. Taking long, deep inhales to the back of that right hip. And pressing the left pinky toenail down. And your next inhale, with the help of your hands, begin to walk yourself back to center. Staying here, bending the left leg, then grabbing onto the outside of the leg with, your right arm. You need to bend the knee and bringing it as close to your left glute as you can. You have the option to stay here or drop into your forearms. Placing the left hand on the right knee and then twisting, looking towards the right, maybe looking towards the ceiling. Feeling a deep stretch in the front of the left leg. Trying not to collapse onto that left hip, keeping both hips squared. One more breath here, and as you exhale, release that back leg. Look down at your mat, plant the hands, tuck the back toes under, send the hips back to tabletop. So from table, extending our left leg out this time. Whoops, sorry, right leg out this time. And we can just bring that left knee behind the left wrist, left foot behind the right wrist. Parallel, flex the foot, scoot the right leg back and point the toes. Remember to square the hips. As you inhale, find length, and on your exhale, melting the heart forward. And breathing into this deep hip opener. Maybe noticing if one side feels more tight. And again, working with the breath, which is the whole practice of yoga. Using our breath to calm out minds, allowing the muscles to gently release. Taking one more deep breath here. Staying for the exhale. And then walking your hands back to your midline. Remember, we're bending the right leg this time. And then grabbing the foot with your left hand. You get to bring that right heel towards the right glute. And again, option to stay here, or option to stay in pigeon. If you're not able to grab the foot, or coming onto your forearms, the right hand on top of the left thigh, sorry, left knee. I'm a little off today. And keep bringing that right heel towards the glute. Twisting your body, looking up or over your left shoulder. Remember to not collapse onto your right hip. Keep them both squared and in line with each other. And then when you're ready, exhale, release that back foot. Looking onto our mats, and this time step back into downward facing dog. Walking our dog, bending one knee and the opposite heel down onto the mat. Check that the feet are hip distance. Take a look at your hands and make sure that they are shoulder distance or a little bit wider if you have wrist pain. And just taking a moment here in our first down dog to stretch the back of the legs, lengthening our spine, getting long from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, look towards your hands, walk or hop to the top of our mat, meeting in Uttanasana, forward fold. Here, keep pressing the front of the thighs towards the back of the legs. Working on straightening the legs, resting your hands on your shins, your thighs, or your feet if you can reach. Just letting your hands go wherever they go. And then when you're ready, come up halfway, find a flat back. Exhale, bow down. And then this time, rooting the feet, inhale to rise. Arms extend overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Check in a moment here to make sure Tadasana is nice and stacked. Feet hip distance, the space between the second and the third toes in line with the heels. Picking up the toes, and then keeping the arches we've created, dropping the toes back down, engaging the feet, Send the kneecaps towards the hips, your tailbone down. Fire that pelvic floor. You're really squeezing in for a Mula Bandha lock. Sternum is away from the hips. And drawing the lower ribs in. Head of the arms up and back. Strong mounted pose. Inhale to lift arms overhead, look up. Drawing the lower ribs in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Slight tilt in the pelvis as you lift the hip points towards your chest, coming into a back bend. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, come up to halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. In plank, remember to hug everything in like we did in Uttanasana, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Bring your big toes to touch your feet or side by side. And as you exhale, begin to roll to the outside of the right foot, hugging that right outer upper arm in right away, in lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling. Coming into our side plank. Lifting the hips as much as you can. Find that pelvic floor, the feet are flexed and stacked on top of each other. Holding here for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, left hand goes back down, coming back into plank. And then from here, tippy toes, coming all the way down to our belly. Point the toes, pressing them on so the kneecaps lift. Inhale to peel your head, neck, and shoulder, coming into Cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Tuck the toes, push onto the hands. Hips up and back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lifting the right leg up. Bend the knee and stack the right hip over the left. Three-legged dog. Hip opener. Remember to square the shoulders, lift the left armpit. And keep pushing onto the hands and drawing the left heel onto the mat. Holding here for one more breath. And as you exhale, rocking back into three-legged dog. Hips are squared. Toes are pointing down. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, rocking knee to nose. Push onto your hands, rounding the spine. Inhale, kick the leg back up, three-legged dog. Draw the left heel down. Exhale, bringing the right knee towards the right tricep. As high as you can on that arm. Inhale, kicking back up into three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Twist. Coming back, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, dropping the foot back. Rocking forward into plank. Coming down all the way to your belly, your option to chaturanga. As you inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg this time as you inhale. Drop the right heel, bend the knee, stacking the left hip over the right, and then pick up that right armpit. Holding here for a few breaths. Still working on opening out the hips. Using the breath to keep lifting that left knee up and back. And then when you're ready, coming back into three-legged dog, squaring the hips, left toes pointing down. Take an inhale here. Now as you exhale, knee to nose, again, push the floor away. Inhale, kick the leg back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right arm, right elbow. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Exhale, plant the feet. And bring big toes to touch, knees wide on the mat. Take a brief child's pose. Giving the arms a brief break before we move on to the next portion. Similar movements from three-legged dog. Working on slowing the exhales. When you're ready, walking the hands back. Set yourself up again. In tabletop, getting ready to come into plank. When you're ready, stepping the feet back. Firing it all up. And exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And as you inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, open up. Inhale, coming back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Staying here. Keep bringing that right knee as high up as you can. And then from here, firing up that back leg. You have the option to come into chaturanga arms. So straightening out that right leg. And then when you're ready, picking up that left leg if possible. Ooh. That one is a one-legged crane. And when you're ready, step the right foot back into downward dog. Doing the try on the left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. And open up as you exhale. Inhale, coming back into three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, high as you can. Walk you through again here. You really want to fire that back leg before you come into chaturanga arms. Straighten out that left leg, feet are flexed. And then maybe rocking a bit forward, picking up that right leg. Hovering the face off. And keep trying to pick up that leg. And if you can't, just step back. Downward facing dog. It's a crazy pose. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, look towards the hands, walk or hop. Top of the mat. Meeting in forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, bow down. Bringing the feet, inhale to rise. Extending mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lifting the hip points, inhale, back bend. Exhale, bowing down. Come up halfway, neutral spine. And as you exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. From plank this time, bring your big toes to touch. Rolling over onto the outside of the left leg as you inhale, bring the right arm up. Keep lifting the hips. Bringing the outer upper left arm in. And we're holding here for a few breaths. Remember, feet are flexed. And keep hugging that belly. Two more breaths. Yeah, I'm off today. Keep lifting those hips. Fall out, come back in. And then exhale, back to plank. Rocking forward, all the way down, or chaturanga. Inhale into Cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big toes to touch, knees on the mat. Brief child's pose. When you're ready, coming back into tabletop, we're going to give one-legged crane one more shot. If you like to stretch out the wrists, you can do so now. Or maybe you want to step back into plank and hold. We'll give you the choice. Okay. If you're in plank, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, open up. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. And as you exhale, rock forward, right knee, right tricep, high up as you can. Arms to chaturanga, straighten out that right leg. Back leg is so strong as you rock slightly forward, pick it up. And if you're ready, from the right leg back, three-legged dog, and then back into a down dog. Deep inhale here through the nose, open the mouth, let it all out. Take an inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale, open up. Left hip over the right. Inhale back to three-legged dog. Left toes are pointing down. Right heel is grounded. And as you exhale, rock forward. Left knee, left tricep. Bend the elbows, straighten the left leg, and maybe pick up that back leg. Or if you want to stay with left knee on the tricep and hold. Still working your core. And exhale, meeting back in downward facing dog. Bending knees, look forward. Walking or hop into the top of our mats for Uttanasana. Bend the knees a lot. Step onto the hands. Placing the toes on top of the wrist creases. And as you exhale, begin to straighten out those legs. Rocking the weight forward into the ball of the foot. Stretch for the wrists. And keep pressing the front of the thighs towards the back of the legs, straightening out those legs. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release the hands. And then slowly stacking one vertebrae atop of the other, beginning to come all the way up. So that the head is the last thing to rise and stack over your body. From here, take an inhale, lifting my arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Back bend a little deeper. This time as you inhale, look back over your thumbs. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back or shoot into chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, pick up the right leg. Step it through between your hands. Left foot, 45-degree angle, coming up into warrior one. As you inhale, lifting the arms up overhead, lunging deeper into that right knee, squaring the hips forward. Take an inhale here, lunge deeper. Exhale, plant the hands, frame the foot, step back into plank. Plank rocking forward, chaturanga or all the way down. Cobra or up dog as you inhale. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg. As you exhale, stepping it through, plant the foot. Step the right foot, 45-degree angle. Inhale to rise. Sending that right hip towards the front, left hip back. Inhale here and exhale, lunge deeper. Reaching with your top hands as you inhale. Exhale, look down, frame the foot. Back into another flow. All the way down to your belly or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knees, look towards the hands, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Coming to fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bow down. Towards the feet, inhale to rise. Arms extend. And as you exhale, shift the weight to your heels. You need to sit down into Uttanasana, chair pose. Arms reaching forward. Gazing straight ahead. Actually, take a moment here. If you have a block, place it between your thighs. Squeeze and drop back down to your chair. Your tailbone is tucking in, so your back is straight. No banana backing. And now we're holding a few breaths here. Squeezing the block or your thighs. Drawing the lower rib into the hips. That pelvic floor squeezing tight. If you have a block, remove the block. And as you exhale, bow down. Inhale to come up, back into chair pose. Sitting a little bit lower in our chair so that ideally our thighs are parallel to the mat. As you inhale, shift your weight to your left foot, grounding that left big toe mound. As you exhale, crossing the right knee over the left. Coming to eagle, so either choosing to keep the hips square forward with your right foot in a kickstance, or tucking the front of the right foot behind the left shin, calf rather. And as you inhale, cross the left arm over the right. Eagle arms, hands to clasp or hands to your shoulders. Keep lifting the elbows and sending them away from your face. So your shoulders are pressing against your back and away from each other. Hugging that belly in, squaring everything to the front. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, bring elbows to your knees for sleeping eagle. Squeezing the thighs towards each other. Rounding the spine, taking a few breaths here. When you're ready on your next inhale, slowly coming back up into our eagle. And as you exhale, bring the right knee into stork pose. Foot front over your chest. Take a moment here, hands to your hip, drop the right hip down. Your hips are squared in line with each other. And as you exhale, begin to send that right leg towards the back. For warrior three, really grounding down into the ball of the left foot. Focus your gaze on one spot, which will help with your balance. And fire both the legs. Hands can stay on your hips. They can come in prayer at your heart. If you like a bigger challenge, extending the arms down in front, which I can't do, my dresser's there. So hands are reaching in opposite direction. Your heel is kicking a back wall. If you fall out, keep coming back. We'll be here waiting. If your hands are in prayer, keep pressing them against each other. And as you exhale, slowly with control, bending that right knee, coming back into stork pose. And as you exhale, releasing the right foot down. Give the left foot a shake. Nice and hard, huh? Hopefully not. Sorry. So coming back, top of our mat. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Weight to the heels, pressing the top of the shins towards the back of the legs. Looking straight ahead. You're not craning your neck backwards. And tuck that tailbone in, drawing the lower ribs in. So we have a nice flat back. We're going to be holding here for a bit. So if you want to squeeze that block, it actually helps you a lot in terms of engagement. Reaching the arms overhead. Checking that the knees are not over the toes. Keep pushing them back towards the heels. And then if you have a block, releasing. Exhale, bowing down. Take an inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Throw in an extra breath here. Now inhale, back to chair pose. Moment here to breathe. And then as you exhale, shifting your weight towards the right side, crossing the right knee over the left. Again, kick stance, tucking the foot back. Maybe it'll go, maybe it doesn't. Remember, both sides are different. Just remember to keep the hips squared to the front and leveled. This time, crossing the right elbow over the left. Clasp the hands or placing them on your shoulders. Just drawing the elbows away from your face and lifting them up. Focusing on one spot to help in between transitions. Hugging that floor, pelvic floor, the thighs, everything really just hugging in. And as you exhale, bringing the elbows towards your knees. Why do I keep saying that? Sleeping ego. Holding here. On your next inhale, coming back up slowly with control. Releasing the arms, bringing the left knee out in front. Drop the left knee. And hands on your hips. As you exhale, begin to kick that left leg back. Firing that right quad. Taking the back foot once it's straight. Maybe check to drop the left hip again. Choose the arm position. Remembering to breathe. When you're ready on your next inhale, slowly coming back. Left knee back to stork pose. And as you exhale, dropping the left foot down. Give the right foot a nice shake. Good stuff. From here, one more flow. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, reach, get long. Exhale, bow down. Come up halfway as you inhale. And exhale, step back or shoot back into chaturanga. If you're shooting back, you gotta land with your arms at 90 degrees already. You're in plank. Come all the way down to our chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips up and back into downward facing dog. Bringing the big toes to touch. Coming back, rocking over to the right side for side plank. Hugging that right upper arm in right away, lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling. And here, challenge yourself. See how much more you can push. Maybe picking up the left leg. Maybe bringing it to tree pose. The left foot is on the inside of the right. Wherever you are, keep picking up the hips. And hold. Long inhales. Long and slow exhales. Wherever you are, rocking back into plank. Forward into cobra, all the way down to your belly or chaturanga. Inhale halfway, back bend. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Bringing the big toes to touch. Rocking over outside of the left foot. Hug that left outer upper arm in right away. Flex the feet, lift the right arm. Looking up and either challenging yourself again, doing the same thing you did on the other side. Pick up the leg. Pick it up. Pick up the hips. Or maybe choose tree pose. Working on connecting with the breath. I'm going to drop down. You guys are saying one more breath here. And then as you're ready, rocking back into plank. Big toes to touch, knees wide on the mat. Take a child's pose. Maybe noticing if you can hear your heartbeat. And just work. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, fill up the belly, the chest, hold it. Exhale, open the mouth, let it all go. Taking a few more breaths. And when you're ready on your next inhale, coming back to sit. We're going to do some floor work now, giving our hands a nice break. Let's begin to sit. Put the legs out in front. You can bring them to touch or you can bring them at hip distance. I'm going to start long, so you're stacking top of the head all the way on top of your tush. And then starting with your arms behind your hips. Take an inhale here, fire that pelvic floor, lean back slightly. And as you exhale, pick up the legs into boat pose. Staying with your arms behind your hips or bringing them to hover beside your legs. Feet flexed, palms facing each other. Really squeezing again like you have a block between your thighs. If you want to place it now, by all means. And maybe working on straightening the legs. But wherever you are, just remember that your spine should be long, neutral. Holding boat pose. I'm going to rock slightly forward. And then as you exhale, we're going to begin to hover the knees. Bring the low back, the mid back to the mat. Everything hugs in for low boat. And then as you inhale, rock yourself back into high boat. Inhale here. Exhale back to low. Slowly hovering the low back, mid back, feet above the mat. Hug everything in. Exhale back, high boat. One more time. And as you exhale, begin to slowly release low back, mid back. Upper back is lifted. Arms are engaged, fired up by your sides. Feet are hovering, hugging everything in, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You got this. 2, 1. Exhale, release all the way down to the mat. Yay. And then if you have your block handy, grab that, buddy. Actually, we'll need it after this pose. We're going to do bridge pose now. Bring your feet a distance apart. Heels as close to your sit bones as you can get them. Arms, palm facing down by your side. Take a moment here, tucking the shoulders in. So rolling in one, running in the other. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. So think of sit bones towards the knees or pointing. And then as you inhale, pressing all 3 corners of the foot, pick up your hips. Tucking the shin. Using this time, reconnecting with the breath. Every exhale, can you push into your feet more, lifting, squeezing the glutes, firing your toes. Strengthening our back, which is part of the middle trunk. Also our core. I love to hold this pose. Just keep focusing on the breath. Again, your block, if you want to place it between your thighs, you can. Squeeze that mother. And when you're ready, as you exhale slowly, vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down. Let's remove the block for this next portion. And as you inhale, push the feet, lift, tucking the elbows in. Bring your arms to clasp behind your back. And on your next inhale, you're going to pick up the right leg, pointing it straight, point the toes. Check that the hips are square towards each other. I should bring your palms by your side, palms facing down. And as you exhale, bring that left glute to hover over the mat. Inhale, pushing the leg back up. Exhale, hovering back down, trying to go level on the hips. Inhale, push up. Just gonna do 5 of these. Exhale, back down. Inhale, push. Exhale, back down, keeping the toes pointing on the right leg, straight, stacked on top of the other. One more time, inhale, push. And exhale, release. Bring the right foot down. Bring your feet mat distance apart. And then just dropping the knees to one side. Letting them drop to the other. When you're ready, coming back. Feet are hip distance apart, bringing the heels as close to your sit bones. Maybe give them a nice grace with your fingertips. Plant the hands by your side. Inhale, pick up your seat. Set up your foundations, squaring the hips, shifting the weight to the right foot. As you inhale, pick up the left leg, point the toes. Exhale, bring that tush to hover over the mat, back down. Inhale, kick up. Hips are squared, exhale, back down. Inhale one more time for 3. Exhale, hover. Push onto the right foot, inhale. Back down, and one more time, you got this. Lift up, hold. Exhale, slowly back down. Bring the left foot. And this time, keep the feet at hip distance apart, letting them fall all the way towards the left. Gaze remains forward and maybe picking up the left hip, putting it on top of the right knee. And then letting go of that left foot, coming back to center. On your exhale, let the knees drop over to the right side. Pick up that right foot, putting it on top of the left knee, if that feels good. Take a moment here. And then releasing the top foot, coming back. Setting up again for bridge pose, but we're going to be coming up this time into waterfall. So grab your block if you have that handy. And then again, placing it below your sacrum, flat part of your low back. One moment here, and as you inhale, pick up both feet, sending them up towards the ceiling, feet are flexed. And taking deep breaths here. You have the option to keep the arms by your side or maybe just lift them towards the ceiling, letting the wrists relax and fall down. Kind of like a weird teddy bear pose. You have the option to stay here. If you want to go into a shoulder press, you can do so. And as you exhale, beginning to slowly calm down, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. You have a block, removing that block from behind you. And then this time, bring your knees towards your chest. Give them a nice squeeze to counter all the bridge poses. Holding here for 2 breaths. And when you're ready, cross the right shin over the left. And then grabbing onto the outside of the feet with your hands, coming into Reclined Gomukhasana pose, cow pose. Begin to bring the knees on top of each other. We're staying with your shins crossed to make an X. It's more than fine, just keep both feet flexed. It's a stretch for the back of the right hip. One more breath here. I exhale, crossing the left shin over the right. This time switching sides, grabbing the outside of the feet with your hands. And again, staying here. Or stacking the left knee over the right. Knees are front and center. Feet are flexed. Feeling it on the outside of the left hip. The more you press your feet towards each other, the more intense the stretch becomes. And just go where your body wants you to go today. One more breath here. And as you exhale, release. And I actually flip you guys pancake style, rolling onto our bellies. Extending the arms out by your sides into T. Bring the right cheek to the mat. With the help of your left hand actually tenting it in front of your face. We need to stack the left hip over the right. Stepping the left foot behind your right. For a nice shoulder stretch. With the help of your hands, you can regulate pushing deeper. Or staying where you go. One more breath here. And as you exhale, rolling back onto your belly. Extending on the left arm in front. Inline hand with your shoulder. Coming onto our left cheek. And then stepping the right foot behind you. Tenting the right fingertips and pushing back. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, rolling back onto your belly, bring both hands to the mat, and then slowly bring yourself onto your back. Hugging in one more time, squeezing in, maybe lifting your forehead to your knees, really tight as a ball. Squeeze your pelvic floor one more time, really fire it all up. Let go of any energy that's left, squeezing it hard, and then exhale, sweet release, Shavasana. Taking a deep inhale, filling up all the way belly. Chest expands, gets wide. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth, exhaling it all out. That was like the best cleansing breath ever. And then letting your eyes fall shut. Palms are facing up. Allowing the front body to soften and melt towards the back body. Kind of like butter. Allowing your exhales to ground you down, connecting you deeper into your mat. Maybe noticing if your mind is drifting, getting lost in a train of thought. And then just using the focus of your breath, keep coming back without any judgment. Maybe counting your breaths. Noticing if you get lost in your thoughts. And keep coming back. Starting now to invite gentle movement back into your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling the toes, gently rocking your head side to side. On your next inhale, lifting the arms overhead, reaching back. Exhale, bring the knees towards your chest, rolling over onto one side, making a pillow with your forearm. Just take a moment here to thank yourself for coming onto your mat today. And then slowly, with the help of your hands, guiding yourself back up into a seated posture of your choice, keeping the eyes closed or half closed. Grounding the sit bones down, getting long through a spine as you inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bringing the palms to touch by your heart. Tuck your shin, bow your head. And just take a moment now again. Thank yourself for making it out. Sending you guys all love, light, and health. Together we bow and say namaste.